So here we are with Ken Foss and Jerry Stauffer. We're in Mount Morris. Mount Morris.
We welcome you.
Thank you. And your title, and what do you do here?
I'm the owner of McKendree Street Cafe in Mount Morris, Illinois, and Below Zero, another facility downtown.
Okay. And what do you do here?
I'm actually retired at this point in my life, but I'm one of the village trustees.
Okay. So I was telling you, I've been to Oregon, but I've never been to Mount Morris. So just tell me a little about Mount Morris, the population, where we're at in Illinois. I mean, how far are we from Rockford?
We're about 35 miles from Rockford, southwest. We're about 100 miles west of Chicago on what they would call North Avenue. Mount Morris lays in the middle of the cornfields out here. It's tranquil, it's very peaceful. So we're happy that all the buildings are still being utilized.
You were telling me earlier when the printing was going, the employment was about equal to the population?
With the nursing home, with the other support places here in town and the industry that we had 2,500 jobs here in this town and with a population of close to 3,000. So that balance was unheard of. During the Depression, Mount Morris and Hershey, Pennsylvania were the only two towns that they've always said in history that were flourishing because everybody wanted to read and everybody wanted to eat their chocolate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So when everybody else was looking for work, Mount Morris was thriving. That printing plant was going 7 days a week, three shifts.
So you knew, when did you learn about the printing history of this town, and then obviously lead into why we're here?
Stuff that I found in the warehouse pertains to printing.
Yeah, right.
You know, and what a coincidence, you know. It's just really cool to be able to find something. Then, you know, the history of this community is all about printing for
Right.
years and years. That's what this community, you know, did.
Printing, public.
So, I mean, elaborate, the stuff you found in the warehouse. What was it? Where was the warehouse at? Give me a 1, 2, 3 or down the road story.
The warehouse was in Kingston, Illinois.
Where's that at?
Kingston is probably about, what would you say, Jerry, about an hour?
About an hour from here.
Straight
northwest or northeast of here.
Yeah, on Route 72.
That was a warehouse.
It was. I was in the process of renting the warehouse to build a music store, and the previous tenants that rented the warehouse were there for 12 years and went bankrupt and walked away from everything. So I went in and was going to open up a music store. The owner of the warehouse and I started cleaning the warehouse out, and that's when we found a lot of the stuff that we have.
And tell us what the stuff is.
It's printing plates, it's positives, negatives of the Constitution and Declaration that from a lithograph printer by the name of Theodore Ullman that dates back into the 30s and 40s. So it's some pretty cool stuff, you know. We've gotten a lot of publicity, you know, newspaper and TV, and yeah, it's taken.
So specifically, what are they? Declaration of Independence. Tell us what some of the items were.
Well, there are all kinds of stuff there. A lot of it didn't pertain to the Declaration and Constitution. It was part of his work, you know.
Ullman's work.
Ullman's work, correct. And what really drew us to everything that we were unveiling was these negatives and positives of the Constitution and Declaration. That's when we, you know, really started taking notice and started doing the research and finding out what is this that we have. You know, what you know, we never seen anything like that before. You know, so I started calling a lot of different places to authenticate and try and find out what exactly we had. So
Kevin was showing me the maps. Census maps.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah, right.
Thing.
Yeah.
What are those about?
Something that we just found. You know, something we found in the collection. Apparently, he was the first one to ever do the relief maps like that.
Ullman.
And Ullman was, and his goal was to distribute those in all the schools across America, along with the Constitutions and Declarations.
And when did you find all this roughly?
Probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So the connection with printing really is just kind of coincidental.
Kind of neat, yeah.
It
It's
really
just
is.
kinda-
Yeah, it really is.
Kind of serendipitous. You know?
I want to pick up where Theodore Ullman left off.
Mhm.
You know, his goal was to put these in every school across America, and that's where what we're doing. New plates have been made, and we want to offer these to the American public.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
what your goal is to really spread the word of it.
Oh, absolutely.
And reacquaint people with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
And-
nationwide.
Yeah.
We want to take this to a level that Theodore Ullman had a hard time doing back in his time because the technology wasn't there to do it. But now is the time, and we have that technology.
And how's it gone so far in terms of spreading that around, and how much do they cost? Give me all the details how people can find out and order.
Yeah, well, we have a website. It's WeThePeoplePrints.com.
Right, I've seen that.
And,
You just redid it, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And they can go on there and order them. There is the history is on there. There's a gallery on there that gives all the pictures of I've met some pretty famous people in regards to this.
And what's the price range for these?
They're $99.
Yeah,
Yep, $99 for a Constitution and $99 for a Declaration. If you go to the Jeffersonians of our country's history and you type in the history of the Declaration, the third one from the bottom talks about Theodore Ullman, and they tell you in there that he was the only person that ever reproduced the Declaration to its original condition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's cool to have that recognition through the Jeffersonians. So that is it really hit home when I found that.
Sure. So you just found this stuff.
Yeah,
It kind of changed your life.
Yeah, it kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, very much so.
So why did you take the plunge to get involved in this? What was it that motivated you to do this as opposed to just selling the whole thing? Or what made you want to continue all this?
Probably the history behind it, in researching Theodore Ullman, his drive. No one else is doing it. No one else is, has ever attempted to do this, and I think our country needs it, and I think it's a good thing. So I've stepped up to the plate, and I'm gonna keep going with it.
Plate, no pun intended.
Yeah, right.